Howdy, folks. Just trying to do some listings. I'm completely by myself tonight, so I'm bored. So join in. Hey, John, what's going on? Captain Whacking Cracker. Hey, what's going on, man? Guys are bored, really bored, like I am. Feel free to jump in. I'm just listing, nothing fancy. Yep, I'm all by myself, so trying to force myself to stay up and list. I got a ton to list. Eating a black bean burger for dinner. Nice. I actually just used DoorDash for the first time. I got, what did I get? A ranch chicken Subway sandwich. It wasn't too bad. Got a free delivery too. I guess because it's the first time I used it. Yeah, it's hot too. Need some water, I think. This is my temporary picture setup until I get my lights in. I ordered some lights and a little backdrop thing. But for now, it's just cardboard and kitchen lights. Hey, how's it going? I see something there.
Hey, pretty good. Trying to get some. Oh.
What are you listing there?
I went to the bins the other day. This is I like your idea. This is one of the ideas that I came up with is to go live and do I have my own listing area here. You can see my hand.
Yeah.
And I have my computer is like, I'm standing right here, like where I pushed the chair out of the way and I can do everything right here. These are Plantronics. They're actually, they're Vista M22s.
Nice.
Is that backwards? I've still got some bugs to work out of it, but
tiny.
Yeah, I'm going to list them as a lot of 4 of them, and they're for like calling. They're handheld. Like you put your headphones in them, and then you put your phone jack in there, and then you can mute it, and then you can turn the volume up and down, and turn your headphones on and off. I bought these at the bins the other day when I was there. And I bought 4 or 5 of them, and so I probably got, and I'm just gonna lot them up because I don't know what they sell for. But there's a couple of really nice headsets here. I probably ought to look them up before I throw them on. But
cool. I think you can get a lot of them up there.
Yeah, it's just the bins, man. That's where it's at, dude. I love going up there, man.
I need to get to the bins. Cool. I've heard the bins around here. There's 2 that are within, I want to say 50 miles of here. And I've heard one of them is like really good. It's more of a high-end neighborhood. So the bins are not far from there. And so supposedly, I haven't been there yet, but supposedly it's good stuff.
I bought this up there, this a micro rave keyboard. It's open, but it's never been used. And it's for Windows 95, Windows 98.
I was going to say, it looks like something I've seen that's older.
Yeah, it's like an ergonomic keyboard, so it's pretty sweet. So I'm pretty excited about it. So And then I found this. None of this stuff I've showed in a video or anything, but I bought this. There was a couple chargers in here, and a couple of compact flash cards. So I don't know what they fit, but I always do pretty well with them. But yeah, I don't know. Halloween stuff, man. If you're out, bro, you see Halloween stuff, grab it, man. That old blow mold. This is the device that I bought this at the bins. It's just a little multi-tool, but I bought it. It's what I opened up that computer case with. And it was like, I need a tool. And right there, they gave me the weapons of they gave me the weapon that I needed to breach that case. But yeah, next time I gloves and stuff, because it was horrible. It was bad news bears. I did get this. Let me take I need to get a wireless headset.
Yeah,
my buddy just bought one from Best Buy had them for like 80 on eBay. Best Buy does, but I bought the Samsung. It's a little camcorder. I mean, that was 2 to 3 pounds, so I paid $3 for that at the bins. It came out, and just sweet stuff, just like stuff you can't go wrong with. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can.
How much is it per pound? Is it like a
99 cents.
They upped us from 99 cents, at least in the Bay. I think it's $1, unless it's different from the Bay Area. I think Bay Area is $1.29 now. It was 99 cents though.
That's still not too bad. I mean, honestly, I hear people complaining about, you know, like, oh my God, I picked up this blow mold Halloween cauldron. You can find this stuff at bins all the time, and nobody knows what this stuff is worth. It's not exactly perfect. I need to have my other camera set up too. I'm going to do a dual screen to where I have a webcam that's just right off to the left side of me, and then I have the one that's right in front of me.
Nice.
And once I get that set up, it'll work a lot better, but I can do that real quick. But this is made from Norfolk, Virginia. It was originally like $6.97 at Walmart. It's not a super old one, but you can't find them right now. Like, you can't find the blow mold stuff right now. And until Walmart starts putting it out, and people are so big into Halloween, I'm telling you, man, this is no joke. Halloween stuff is getting ready to be retarded. It's getting ready to blow up.
I would not be surprised. It's funny you say Halloween. I just listed my first Christmas thing. Maybe it's too early.
Yeah. Halloween? No. What I mean, that's too cool, man. That's too cool. What I'm saying, though, what I mean by blowing up, I mean 24/7, 365 days a year. It's becoming such a cultural phenomenon.
Definitely.
That I think that you're definitely going to see Halloween stuff. If you can get it, I've been thinking about just setting on my stuff because I have so much storage and setting on it for about 2 or 3 years. And I guarantee you that I just sold the blow mold ghost that lights up, and I sold it for like $20, and I guarantee you 5 years from now that same piece will probably be worth like 50, 60. It's like the old Christmas stuff, the old bubble lights and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Those things got crazy, and they're still crazy. The old kid about it. But Halloween stuff, there's this, I don't know what it is, man. There's just this following behind it.
No, I think it's like I was saying about last time, like in places like England where it's like a new thing. I mean, something that's been around for hundreds of years over there is like a new phenomenon. It's just like, and I think also because it's such a short period, basically people leave it to the last second and then they'll pay whatever for whatever it is. So those two things are there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. Definitely Halloween stuff.
I definitely think that I definitely think that in the long run that we're going to see a huge increase in the Christmas stuff. My kids, I tell you what, I have to go time up. I have a 6-year-old or 5-6-year-old. I can't remember how old he is. And then I have a 3-year-old, and they should have a bedtime. It's 12:30 here.
I'm right with you. I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. So they're not with me right now, but if they were, you'd be able to hear them. My 8-year-old would be running up and down the stairs. Yeah. It's just the age.
I'll have to go over there. I've told them 100 times that they gotta quit that. They gotta quit that loud stuff, but they don't know. You.
That sounds awesome to me right now because I'm in a house alone right now, so I haven't heard my kids in like a day now.
Are they still back where you were living?
Yeah, I came up here because we had a home inspection, and they messed up the dates, so we couldn't. We were supposed to have it the weekend. We're all supposed to come up, and then at the last second they said, "Oh no, it has to be on Wednesday." I'm like, "Oh, great." So my wife couldn't come up, so I just came up by myself. That's why I'm here right now. So,
yeah, that's got to be the worst.
Yeah, it's empty house. So it's weird. It's just you know, an odd feeling.
I hate being alone. I like having people around me. I'm a weirdo.
You'd think you wouldn't, but I'm just so used to noise. I grew up with a big family. Always had a lot of people around me, so I like it better. I'm used to it. Hey, it's Russ. What's going on, Russ? Man, it must be late.
He is up late. It's 1:30 there.
It's tough to say. I'm like, I mean, where I am, it's 10:30. I'm trying to push it till like 1, 2 o'clock, but wow. It's so hot too. I can't sleep. I mean,
Do you not have air conditioning?
I do, but I think I'm more bored than anything, to be honest. And it's kind of, I like having a little bit of noise, something.
Yeah.
I've got the AC. I just turn the fans on, but.
Yeah, I understand.
And actually, in the Bay Area, I'm not used to AC because we don't really need it. It's probably about 5, 8 degrees cooler. But over here towards Sacramento, it's probably, I don't know what it is now, but during the days, it's like 95, 100.
Oh yeah, that's got to be way different for you.
Yeah, I'm just not used to it.
Yeah, we live in Missouri, and it gets real hot and humid here, but it's not that bad. We've only got about 2.5 months worth of hot weather.
Okay.
But I like where we live at. It's that's not that bad. But some places like people that live out in Vegas and stuff, I don't know if they really ever get a reprieve from that heat.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Vegas, like, for weekends here and there. And that dry heat, I mean, I couldn't stand it. It's like dusty dry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the people in like Arizona do. That's just, and I heard it was like 119, something like that. I don't know what I would do in that heat.
I've never been past Kansas. Never been past Kansas.
What's the hottest it gets around you?
Well, we can get real hot. Like we can get up into the hundreds. It's been 100+ degrees here, but it's very uncommon that it would ever get that hot. Normally, it's in the 90s during the summer.
Okay.
It ain't that bad, but we don't have, you know. For me, it's just an issue of I don't have a lot of house, but I have a whole lot of land, and what I love to do is we're getting these cobalt mines in, and I'm hoping that the cobalt mines come in and that it gives me a lot of equity in my property that, you know, they'll want it because where it's located at, it's right outside of town. We own all the property on the other side of the industrial park, and it would make a really good area for a subdivision. And I'm like, man, somebody just come along and just make me the right offer. And
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah.
Just wait it out, and it will happen.
Because I would love to get me a house with a pool, and you know, maybe 4 or 5 acres. You know, 3 acres would be enough just for in Missouri for septic laws. I'd be happy. I'd be a happy camper.
That'd be awesome.
Especially if I can.
Where he is.
Say what?
Where? Oh, Russ has been in 112. Oh, in St. Louis. I'm not sure if he's in St. Louis though. But
yeah, no. It will get that hot in the city because of all that asphalt and concrete. I'm gonna go grab a water and a bag. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't cool off there. At least I don't have humidity. That's one thing. Just kind of mild heat, if there is such a thing. Let's check what the temperature is right now. It is 76 right now. So not too bad.
I am a Ziploc bag. Man, they'd hate me in the Bay Area, California, if they're worried about straws. I use so many of these plastic bags.
I mean, I'm still not used to that. Like plastic bags too, and straws. I kind of hoard plastic bags now.
Right.
You know, you don't know what's gonna get taken next. So yeah, straws, and I guess basically it's probably gonna go. They're gonna go for any kind of plastic, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're. You know, it's just. You know, I understand the idea of environmental friendliness, but I just don't know. I don't know if at this point, if straws is the straw thing. I was reading a science article the other day, and it says that we're almost at the tipping point for runaway heat, and then extreme cooling. I believe we're at the point of one of the reasons why this is going to sound crazy, but one of the reasons why I want to move south is because I believe that we're getting ready to go through a cooling period. They call it the grand solar minimum, or the Monders minimum. And it's essentially like every 200 and some odd years, there's a solar cycle. If you ever notice, whenever Washington was crossing the Delaware, if you've noticed the painting where is it the Delaware or the Potomac? I think it's the Delaware. The people inside the boat, they're actually kicking large chunks of ice out of the wave. Oh. And well, that's not, if you've ever been in that area in the wintertime, there's not large chunks of ice in that river. At least that's the argument that I've heard. I've never personally been there. So back then, that winter that they fought was an extremely harsh winter. But every like 200-300 years, there's the sun goes dormant. Well, the data that I've seen, and I watch one YouTube channel called Suspicious Observers, and the gentleman he actually worked with a guy that founded the Weather Channel, and he believes that all of our weather, a lot of our weather is affected by solar influences. That if there's an Earth-facing sunspot that erupts, that it creates a pulse of energy that comes towards the Earth. And last year, whenever that hurricane like blew up in the Atlantic, and it just became a monster of a storm. A couple days before that, there was actually a Earth-facing sunspot that erupted, And that energy, what it does is it heats up the atmosphere, and it creates these really crazy storms. That's why we're seeing an increased whenever there are solar minimums, where you see an increased activity with storms, is because right before it goes into the solar minimum, the sun will uptick in certain solar cycles. I'm not a scientist. It's really interesting stuff. But long story short, I really don't want to move too far north, because I'm afraid that if I move north, that if it gets really cold, it'll be really hard to, eke out a living if you have to eke it out of the earth.
That's true.
And we actually, I actually run a prepper page, Doomsday Preppers, on Facebook, and we have about 25,000 members. I've actually thought about starting another YouTube channel that was based towards the idea we have. That's why we have a farm. We prep and we put food back and supply stuff. And just in case anything bad ever happens. And I don't talk a lot about it, but I thought about talking about it because the people around me already know I do it. So
there's nothing wrong with
cool YouTube channel and be able to make money. It's really crazy because it's really hard to explain. Like, hey, give me 5 minutes. Well, I need the stuff for like over 6 years now, and it's just like there's no way to like give all of the evidence without putting people to sleep.
Well, there's definitely something going on. I mean, the weather's changing. That's all I know, and it's different than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So.
The skies look different. If you notice the skies, if you look at pictures of the skies 10 years ago and the skies today, they're totally different. I scored this shirt out of the bins. I know you do clothing.
Did you say, do I do clothing?
Your clothing guy? Yeah.
I kind of go in cycles. Right now, I'm doing a big clothing lot. Yeah. So right now, I am big time.
I have that Harley Davidson with that hawk.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's Borbuse Valley, Ridge, Missouri. So I've never heard of it, but it's really a cool long sleeve Harley Davidson shirt. So I got that out of the bin. So that was probably hardly nothing. Oh shoot, that's the back.
Nice. Is that's the kind of stuff I'm seeing sells? You have those big. Is that embroidered or is it like stamped up?
It's screen printed or something.
Okay, but still, especially actually the stuff that if it has a specific city or something like that, that's actually pretty good. Sometimes people are looking for that.
Yeah. Roaming Picker said none of my 100+ items, $100 items plus sold. I was hoping they would sell, kick a few in. The sell would kick a few in. Roaming Pickers, I'm going to tell you what I've done. And I heard this. I actually run a show with my buddy Jerry Jane, Rise and Grind Picker, and the Bearded Picker. Scott, we have a group chat that we're in, and Scott turned me on to something, and he told me that don't do off, don't run like a % off. What you want to do is do the promoted listings trending rates plus 1%.
What was the second thing you said? You said promoted listings, and what was the thing you said right after that?
Promoted listings plus 1%. Yeah, and after I started doing that, it went absolutely crazy.
Promoted listings helps. I'm never sure what to do with the rates, so I just usually do the trending. I mean, the trend. So you do whatever's trending, or you said you do 1% for the trending rate. The
trending rates plus 1%. There's times that I would do. Yeah, there were times that I would do sales that I would only do sales, and I would only do like I do 20% off, man. 20%. I just hit 20% everything in my store, and I would, I'd start selling stuff, but it would always be the stuff that had free shipping, or it'd be the stuff that was, it wasn't working out for me.
Yeah.
So, for me to do, if a trending rate on an item is 9%, and I end up kicking in another 1%, I'm at 10% on that item. eBay, they're getting the money. It's not really giving the incentive to the customer, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But it is giving the incentive to eBay to promote my item, and apparently that's what they want. I was reading a news story somewhere that there was I could have swore, I don't know, I eBay so much I could have dreamed this for all I know, but I can't think of where I read it, but where the CEO was talking about eBay becoming more up to 150% increase in revenue by doing these new by taking away the promoted, or the markdown manager, and having people promote their items, that they're looking to see up to 150% increase in revenue on their site. Now, I don't know if I dreamed that or if I read that somewhere, but I could see that if guys like me are giving an extra, if I'm doubling my fees on just about every item that I sell, then yeah, I could see how they could see at least 100% increase on their merchandise, because they're figuring out a way to make us raise fees on ourselves.
I mean, what I would say about promoted listings is it doubles up if you look at your listings on eBay. Like, let's just say you're selling, a Harley Davidson shirt. If you have a promoted listing and yours is one of the lower priced ones, you could have basically 2 listings there towards the top of the page. And I'm wondering if it's also like that. I haven't checked it on Google, because maybe it's a similar thing on Google. Maybe you have, I don't know if you're going to have 2 listings, but maybe 2 different types of listings on Google. So maybe that's what they mean, is they're kind of doubling it up. So twice the eyeballs is, twice as much chance of selling.
And that's what I'm saying. You do get 2, your listing will be promoted twice. So, I see what they're saying, and I can't say that I don't agree with what they're doing. Whatever benefits me the best is what I'm going to do. That the thing that puts food in my children's mouth, and I mean, to a point. I mean, I'm not going to do anything that's, I have high moral standards, but I'm definitely, whatever eBay wants me to do, it's in my best interest to do it, because they're going to stack the deck in a way to where it makes it worth my time, because they're not doing all this stuff without it benefiting them, and ultimately that's what it's all about. It's not the stockholder, it's whatever makes the company. They'll tell you it's the shareholder, it's the buyer, and then it's the seller. But what it is, it's eBay, then it's the shareholder, and then it's the buyer, then it's the seller. So we're 4th on that list.
It always starts with the bottom line. How much money are you making?
Because eBay can only care so much. It's a decent looking keyboard. There's some yellow. I think it might have been used. I don't know. I found that's a solution that works really good on items. I'm going to go grab it. I'll be right back.
All right. Let me get that link. I'll put the link in the chat again. Wait, that's not the right link. Hold on.
This Clorox cleanup, this cleaner and bleach, I'll just spray a little bit on the rag, and anything that I see that's yellowed, like, it just, it's one of the best. I use it on consoles, and the yellow that was there, it's definitely not as pronounced as it was. In fact, it's gone now.
Nice.
It's real good. I love that stuff. It does have kind of a bleachy smell, but like bleach, it dissipates. You know, after a while, the chlorine and the bleach will it will dissipate, and then it leaves no odor. Because chlorine, you know, it evaporates. It's whenever there's a chemical spill, and they create those clouds because it evaporates. There you go. It's as good as it's going to get. I'll list it as used and gently used. I wish I could have had the foresight to take all those computers from back in 1995 and even older and just save them and just have saved them. I never thought that there would be any type of
I saved mine. Remember I told you, you know what? I'm going to go grab one. Let me see. Maybe we'll crack it open and see what it looks like.
Boys, you better be quiet over there. Hey, Krillin, you said something earlier. I don't know if you're still hanging around. When you look up an item, below the item will be suggested other items, and they will be promoted there. Yeah, they normally look a little bit different. You're up kind of late there, Krillin. Up kind of late. Roaming picker. Oh, Rusty Poo.
I'm cracking up because I'm like, of course, it's the middle of the night, you know, and I'm all, my eyes are all blurry.
Oh, he's here.
John's over there on roaming pickers. I tell you, roaming pickers. I'm like, John.
This is just one. I've got like 8 of these, similar to these. I don't know if you can see that.
Is that an e-machine?
An old e-machine.
Or is that?
It is.
Yeah, I sold those.
Vista.
What you got, Mo? Some boat anchors?
Pretty much. I'm gonna crack it open. And see
those things are money, man.
I have a bunch
want those.
Too.
People.
I just wanted to jump on and give Mo some trouble. Mo's up there at that house, new house, all by himself. The house kind of creaking a little bit, and he's like, "Man, it's scary."
I get freaked out on myself. I was telling that John earlier. So I tell you, I like noise.
I tell you what, living in California, they're not too gun friendly out there. I don't know what Mo's take on guns are, anyways. He might not like them no more than anyone else, but
he'd be out your place, have every light on.
No, actually, I will say this: both of my neighbors, both NRA members, both super cool guys. One of them on the left is a cop too, super nice guy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So my take on it is, I think people need to be level-headed. I don't care if you're pro or not pro. Just don't be
exactly. Yeah, right. I mean, don't be like you see that picture or that story where that guy, and this is exactly he did something. A guy came up and pushed him down, and then the guy that pushed him down came at him, and then the guy pulled a gun out, and the guy started backing off, and the guy on the ground shot him. And I'm like, man, why would you guys just craziness. Why would you even want to do something like that? I don't even know. I couldn't live with myself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Some people, I mean, they're going to be like that regardless. Dumb people are dumb.
Yeah.
So what?
I mean, I worked it.
What are you guys listing?
Oh, yes.
I'm listing.
This is part of my order. This is, I think, Patagonia.
Oh, yeah.
I got a whole box of this stuff. I mean, I'm not really into, I'm getting into clothes more. I used to do it a little bit, and I used to pour hard goods, but when I was moving, it's really, really hard to move with hard goods, but it's easier to move with clothing. It's lighter, you can box it up. So that's why I'm in clothing right now, like hard.
I've got this model, this Blue Angels. I don't know if it sells for anything, but I love Navy stuff, so I scored it whenever I was out somewhere. I'll wipe it down, but it's got the little Blue Angels in there, and
Nice.
it's cool. They just
Nice. Hey,
first woman's blue.
shout out to Tom. He sold a nice. Boy, help me out, Tom. I know you're in chat. What was the? It was wasn't a TAC. It was wasn't a realistic. He sold a real nice. Turntable.
Oh, really?
You know, what's the top end turntable that everybody wants?
Oh boy.
I don't know what it's called. The top of a turntable.
Turntable, the record.
The actual record player part.
Record player turntable part. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was concerned about shipping it, Mo, and you know, 'cause he reached out and he said he was asking questions about shipping big stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So I told him, yeah. So
Captain Wackencracker.
yeah, Captain. I couldn't remember his
He said it was a Techniques turntable.
techniques. I couldn't. It's 2:00 in the morning out here, guys. I can't remember.
We'll forgive you. It's okay. I scored this nice Nike Golf Under Armour hat. That's pretty cool. I thought about keeping that myself because I don't have a black hat.
Yeah, they don't make Nike Golf stuff anymore. I think Nike Golf is now, that part of it is defunct. So that's
it was Under Armour. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Nike, but it's an Under Armour golf hat. It's kind of cool.
But
yeah, fit my
Nike, Under Armour, Nike. Nike Golf is defunct, Mo?
I could be wrong, but I heard they got rid of that section. I think it was Nike. They got rid of their golf section.
That's good to know.
Like,
of course, that's always a you know, if it says Nike Golf, it's grabbed. You know, it's just a no-brainer to me, especially now. So you're listing those Patagonias.
Yeah.
I was telling in chat, I sold 3 pair of men jeans today, and so men are starting to, and they were, you know, full size. I sold shorts, but the jeans are starting to move. So men are starting to think. So get that hot weather or that cold weather gear on. Get the hunting, if any hunting clothes. The camo clothes. I've been holding on to a bunch of camo clothes. I'm hoping.
I don't get much camo. When I do, it goes fast.
Yeah.
Hats, vests, shirts, jackets, pants, all that.
I've got a closet full of it. I'm gonna start listing now because it's definitely cold weather stuff. It was a cold weather. The only problem is it's digi camo instead of woodland.
Okay.
It is still sell.
Captain Wackencracker said Russ told me not to sweat shipping the big stuff. It's a Techniques SL-7.
That's right. That's a sweet unit. I think
charge for it. Whatever it costs, just mark it up that amount. Because I've shipped all kinds of stuff. I've shipped. What's the biggest thing I shipped? Personally, I shipped a 4-layer industrial size pizza oven. And we couldn't even bring it into our store. We had a regular small store, maybe 1,000 square feet, double doors. They had to bring it in, and obviously the forklift wouldn't come in the door. So they had to use one of those mini forklift things to bring it in individually in 4 pieces. So I had to have the pallet ready, and they put them on there one by one by one by one. And then one piece didn't go on perfectly, so they had to take it off and put it back on again. Weighed about 1,600 pounds.
Mo will ship a house. If it is sell on eBay, Mo will ship it.
I will. Actually, it wasn't me, but there was another of the franchise stores that the rumor was they shipped a building to somewhere in the Mideast. Now, I didn't see it. I don't know if it was in pieces. I wasn't part of that, but that was what the rumor was. They shipped a building. So I'm guessing it was the parts, maybe like, I don't know, tile, wood or whatever.
That's crazy.
It made their mailman really mad, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't come back.
It was probably some sheik or something like that. Oil baron.
Because I've been asked to ship all kinds of stuff. Somebody asked me to ship 10,000 pounds of scrap metal before. The only problem with that is there's actually a lot of people that do that kind of stuff. So I lost it on the price. I couldn't compete. The guys that do that full time, they just beat me out of the price. But
that's something I want to start looking into is the bulk clothing overseas, because I've got a good source here, and I've got intermodal here in town.
Oh yeah, definitely. They do that at the bins here. They go overseas. I don't know what countries. I know Mexico definitely, but there's plenty of other countries that they go to. They get the pallets, they divide up what they need, and it gets sent to whatever place.
Grilling says Iron cheek, yeah. Here, because Savannah is the number 2 or number 3 port in America, believe it or not. At Long Beach down in Southern California is number 1. I think New York's number 2, and then Savannah's number 3.
Well, you're in the Gulf of Mexico, right? So
no, we're on the Atlantic side.
In the Atlantic side, you know what? That makes sense then. Yeah. Because then you can go all the way to Europe.
And everything, and then we're the southern end of it, where everything comes in and feeds through all the way to Texas. So
and then there's Atlanta there. That's a big hub, and
right, Atlanta, and the biggest hub in the area for items moving in and out actually is Nashville.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that you think, but when I was recruiting here in Savannah, intermodal and shipping and everything was part of my area, so I learned a lot of neat stuff like that. And the biggest import we have, this is 10-year-old information, guys, so don't hold me to it. But the biggest import that Savannah, Georgia has, the biggest export that Savannah, Georgia has is chicken feet.
Well, that's that's a delicacy in like plenty of Chinese restaurants, chicken feet.
Yep.
So and it's light and cheap, so that makes sense. Yeah, no, I forget who it is. Is it FedEx's hub within Tennessee, in Nashville? Because I know UPS is Kentucky.
But they've got one in Memphis. FedEx is in Memphis.
It's in Memphis, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was somewhere around there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And just so much trucking. If you look at Nashville on a map, it's pretty much dead center of the eastern half of the United States. So
you're going to see more and more business gravitate towards that kind of Tennessee to Kentucky area, just because it's dead center. I mean, why do you think Austin is such a hotbed? It's right in the middle.
It's dead center, and you get
and they're also right to work states, so you don't have to worry about unionization that much.
Are there any unions left? Any union states left? I saw some of your posts, John. That Missouri
there's a Missouri didn't pass. I was disappointed. We're already the unions. And I got a lot of heat for that because I'm not pro-union. And I'll leave it at that.
It was when I was there. Of course, it's been 20 years since I lived in Missouri. You didn't make a move without a union build. So
because they'll be outside. Never mind.
If you ever look at a map of the United States at night, that's where it will tell you where your population is. And if you look at a map of trucking of the United States at night, or trucking of the United States, and where they hire truck drivers from, you will realize that it's one and the same, because it makes sense, right? They only truck to areas where people are. So there's not a lot of there's not a lot of people out in the deserts of New Mexico, so there's not a lot of trucks to go out there.
Yeah.
That's another great business. If you want to get into a business where you don't have to leave your house, learn the trucking routes and just get in with somebody. They're always looking for people with just a little bit of know-how and some good phone skills. You can fill truckloads. You can do that from your home. I mean, you never have to touch anything. You just have to be able to be good on the phone.
What's the term for that, Mo? Expediter?
I mean, I don't think it's freight forwarder, but
I know freight forwarding is the type of company.
yeah, it's something like that. But because I know a couple people that do really well doing that, and they move from company to company because somebody will see that they're, hitting whatever numbers, and they'll want them in their company. So that kind of thing is great.
Especially if you're good at doing LTLs, because then you're, what do they call that? The ant and the traveling salesman.
Oh yeah.
Theory and algorithms you have to work with.
A lot of these guys, they have trouble filling their trucks, and it's tough if you're going the clear way across the country and you have a half-filled truck. So I mean, they're desperate for business sometimes. So.
Yeah. I'd like to be. I have a buddy that he drove for. What the heck was it? He drove for Warner, and they actually have a truck store up in South Dakota or something.
Okay.
Where all their damaged freight goes to, and he's able to go up there and score he was able to go up there and score all kinds of stuff inside their store for super cheap.
There's a couple places like that. Where's the one for the luggage? I don't know if it's one national one. I don't know if it's an airport one or a UPS one. There's one for, I think it's TSA, and it's all the luggage that gets damaged or lost, or they can't figure out who it goes to. They sell it off at this giant warehouse. It's somewhere in, I think, Midwest somewhere.
That's cool. I'd love to.
I think that's over in John's area. That's over in Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
somebody was
over there. I mean, it's a giant place, and apparently it's non-stop action because, people lose stuff all the time.
Of course, after TSA and the security has gone through it, basically it's just clothes and luggage.
Yeah, that's true. You ever got one of those notes before? TSA has
I don't. You can send a locked Pelican case with a laser lock on it, and then they'll say they got keys to everything. We went through your luggage.
They'll break it if they have to.
Yeah, they will. Or I've heard them cut it open.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I've had like 5 suitcases either cracked or broken or whatever.
When you go on a trip, though, you always take your best stuff with you. You're not wearing Kmart T-shirts or Walmart T-shirts. You're taking nice shirts, nice blouses, nice pants.
Well, actually, the funny thing is my nice stuff's inside the suitcase. When I travel dressed shorts, T-shirts, sandals, super light as possible.
Me being with minimal things, that when I took off from Florida last year, I was in because I took off first, and I was in a backpack, and all of my possessions fit in that backpack.
Nice.
So,
wow.
So it was, I'm not leaving anything for them.
You ever see that movie, was it Up in the Air? Up in the Air? I think it's Up in the Air. And he describes how to dress for getting on I think it's George Clooney. Describes how to dress when getting on.
Oh, yeah, where he's going for the $1 million or the 1,000,000-mile thing.
Yeah, the air miles.
Yeah.
He only wears slip-ons. He doesn't wear belts, I think. He doesn't, everything is one piece, like no jackets, no hoodies, no sweatshirts.
Oh, no.
Everything is super easily disposed of.
Yeah, that was a decent movie.
There's an earthquake in Indonesia. I don't know how strong. I have all that. Always checking. I'm always doesn't say 6.9. Is that the same one?
Is it in the ocean?
No,
or
that was
on the actual land.
I'm not sure. It just says the devastated Indonesian island of Lombok was hit by a new shallow earthquake on Thursday when a 6 magnitude tremor reportedly caused buildings to collapse and people to flee in panic. I don't know if it what 6 to 7 each little tick is important. Like a 1 to 4, they're not really. The magnitude doesn't really, the frequency doesn't,
Yeah.
it doesn't change much. But when you go from 6 to 7, there's a big window, and then from 7 to 8, there's even bigger. And if you ever see like an 8 or above, even a 9, like a couple years, there was one that rang out. The one that shifted the axis. It was probably about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Not the was it? I think it might have been the one that created tsunami in Japan. That it was almost a 9. It was at a 9. I think by the time they were done, they busted it down to like an 8.6 or something. I can't remember. And that one was pretty devastating.
What's the thing on the Richter scale is each point is 100 times once it gets into.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So a 7.1 and a 7.2. A 7.2 is 100 times harder than or is it 10 times? Crazy. I can't remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what worries them. It was
down there where you're at, John. That what 8 point? What they estimate that one at 8.5 or a 9 or I mean yeah.
They're saying it was a 7. I thought it was higher than that.
Well, the one 1811, the New Madrid.
Yeah. There was an 8 that would just happen down in Mexico. I believe it was about an 8.
They said that New Madrid one made the Mississippi flow backwards for a while.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and John's sitting not too far from where that's at.
Yeah.
They say that I've watched a lot of interesting stuff on that. And they said that it was caused by the Ice Age, and that it was they don't know if there'll ever be another one that big because of the way the tectonic plates are. I don't know. Who knows? No one ever knows.
Well,
but
we would get shook occasionally in St. Louis, but nothing ever over like a 3, 2.5, 3, and you can barely feel them. And, But yeah,
that's like
been 200 years. That's
like every day in the Bay Area. They don't even report anything. I mean, like John said, anything under 4, they barely even report. One thing I always wondered, I don't know, maybe John would know more about this, earthquake predictions or whatever you call it, predicting it ahead of time. How is that not something they know more about yet?
They're learning something called it's called a blot echo, and that they're able to start predicting. There are some indications. I'm trying to blot echo map quake watch. But there's something called a blot echo map, and it's able to kind of predict. There's one guy on YouTube he says he's able to predict. Hey, what's up, Krillin? Says he's able to predict earthquakes, but he just where there's high earthquakes. He says in the next week there's going to be an earthquake in California. Well, no shit, there's going to be an earthquake in California. There was a 3.3 point something.
For years. I mean, it's a big earthquake. Don't talk under 4. That doesn't count as an earthquake.
Yeah, right. But that's what he's doing. He's like in there's going to be an earthquake. He says he says that earthquakes follow the fracture zones, and he says that there's an earthquake that'll be in where's that little island off of Australia, New Zealand, and he'll say that they fall. He has not a little island. It's a big island, but it's compared to Australia, it's little. But anyways, he predicted all kinds of stuff, but people call him out all the time being fake. But there's been a lot of
I'll say it, and you guys mark it. What's the date? The 8th, 9th, somewhere around there.
8th.
Yeah. Within 90 days, there will be snow in Canada. That's my prediction.
There you go.
Right.
See, that's exactly.
I'll say 80 days.
Mo, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How are you? You're taking the pictures right there in the kitchen.
Yeah.
How good are you with photography? Are you pretty good
Not,
guy?
this is not this is not a demonstration. What John's doing is a lot better. I can see his camera for one thing is a lot better. This is the best light I have right now because the setup I have that I'm gonna get in the garage. I'm waiting for. I ordered some lights. And I've got to get that stuff cleared out. There's not enough space in there too right now. I've got boxes on top of boxes.
You know about photography? You're familiar with photography?
Very little knowledge about photography. I use my iPhone for everything right now.
All right. What about glare and how to avoid the glare and how to avoid the shadows?
I mean, I take square pictures, and then when you click on it, you can, I forget what it is, but press on the free circle thing. You can move it across, and it gets rid of some glare. I mean, other than that, though, I don't really do anything. I'm eyeballing it. Like, if I see a shadow, then I move it. I tilt the camera. That's about it. Yeah. And this is the best light right here.
Yeah, because I got a new area. I rented a space, and it's got those, those long fluorescent bulbs.
Yeah.
Overhead, but certain, it's funny. And then I bought one of those white backdrops they sell, and some of the items with like a white shirt or a color like a shirt, it comes out beautiful, but then with the dark stuff, it just shoots it right back out.
Yeah.
And it just so I have to do
replace those bulbs.
What's up, John?
Replace the bulbs right above where you're doing photos at. Buy you some LED bulbs. Go buy you some LED bulbs. You can buy them. They make LED bulbs. I can show you. Let me stand up here. I'm leaning back all like Fat Freddy. Look at my camera here. I'll show you. I'm gonna move my webcam here. I got stuff everywhere, but the way I've got mine set up, I use LED bulbs like this one right here. I actually have a really long base that goes all the way down to the floor. And then this right here above that you can see the light, that is a shop light that I bought at Goodwill. And it's an LED bulb. And then I have another LED bulb like right over there. And what they are is they're bright. They're the daylight bulbs, and they're natural light. You want the ones that throw off as much white light as possible. And I use this red backdrop here. It mutes everything. I don't know. I like it. My wife says she hates it. I'm selling a lot of stuff since I went to a different colored background. I don't know. I know eBay likes you to have white, but I don't know if that's exactly a hard and fast rule for them. But
it's actually Google that likes the white, so eBay's just going along with that because they want those Google searches.
I don't. I figure someone's looking for my stuff. They're not really Googling it. I mean, like I just listed a silver sniffer Snoopy. Somebody ain't like, golly, man, I think I'm gonna Google silver sniffer Snoopy. No, they're on eBay going, I like Snoopy. I have 500 Snoopies, and I'm gonna eBay search Snoopy.
Doing the Instagram? Johnny, are you doing the Instagram? I mean, I have a lot of guys telling me, like, I'm not saying I listen to everybody's advice, but I have a lot of guys. Like, I have a guy in my neighborhood. Well, not my neighborhood. He's about 40 minutes away from me. Okay, the guy, he's making buku money. All right, the guy makes more money than all the people that on YouTube put together. All right, and he really hits the Instagram with the hashtags and all that stuff. He's telling me about all. I mean, he's doing big business.
You're talking about selling on Instagram?
No, he doesn't sell it, but he uses the Instagram to bring traffic to his channel. To his channel, I got news for you. He does completely different than everybody else. Well, not completely different, but number one, he does consignment.
Okay.
Number two, he does all auctions, like 99% auctions. And he'll still, I'll buy clothing items, and I'll just give them to him right away and have him, some certain items, he'll do better at auction than items I've had sitting in my store for 2 years.
I use my Instagram to draw people to my YouTube channel, because every time I post a picture on Instagram,
Right.
I put, hey, be sure. I'll always put, be sure to follow us on or if you're follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
But use the hashtags
under Nevermore hashtags.
Yeah, you got to use the hashtags on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's what
I
people
always.
look for.
Yeah, so people they type it. So, but none of the I mean, that's only just for. So there's nothing that goes over from one to the next. Hashtag is only on one platform, so it's not like if somebody right.
It was something that started on Twitter, but it's now everywhere.
Hashtag will go across platform.
Have you heard about that with YouTube and hashtags too? You can
they got them on there.
Yeah, I use like the hashtags that you do. Yeah, like I don't know. I need to find a good list of hashtags and go to look at some of the big dogs and maybe see what they're doing hashtagging. We've got all of these freaking American flag pins. I need to go hang outside of a Trump rally and sell them for $1 a piece. I think he's already came to Missouri.
John, let me ask you a question. Why do some people say Missouri with an A?
Because they're freaks.
You've heard
I don't
people
know.
say that. You've heard.
That's actually the correct pronunciation.
Really? People
is Missouri. Yeah.
Why do people?
The true classy people that lived in that state always say Missouri.
Yeah,
really.
Them southern hillbillies.
In this, my mother was born in the Boot Hill, down in the, almost Arkansas, and they all said Missouri, but you go to St. Louis and it's Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri. I don't know if there's an A on the end of that. Missouri.
It's AH Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course
I'm gonna list all of these.
What's the Tigers? They say Mizzou-Ra.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, that's right. Tigers. I think I just listed a Tigers jersey or something.
Now Truman said Missouri too. Truman had the southern pronunciation of. He said Missouri.
Really, Truman, Harry.
Yeah,
but I know John is really from Georgia, right? You're not from Missouri.
No, I was born in St. Louis. I'm a Missourian, but I want to get out of the state because
I thought you said you were from Georgia.
I lived in Georgia when I was little.
Oh, okay.
I lived in.
I thought you were from Bad Street, USA. Baddest Street in the old USA, Atlanta, GA. No,
that ain't me. But my mom used to say my dad's song was Big Bad Leroy Brown. He was a bad now. I don't know about all that. I don't know my dad too well.
No, you know what song I'm talking about. Bad Street USA?
I don't think so, man. I'm not a TV watcher. How old is the show?
What are you talking about, man? The Freebirds? That wasn't your favorite back in the day?
Oh, were you talking about the Fabulous Freebirds wrestling?
Yeah,
I never watched. I never seen a lot of Memphis wrestling.
Oh my
growing
God.
up,
their theme song is Bad Street USA. Bad Street. No.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. I've only
got to play the video. Michael PSA's.
Only wrestling that I've got. I'm gonna go down to Memphis. I got a buddy that lives down there. I'm gonna go stay with them, and for a night, and I'm gonna go to some Memphis stuff. But Jerry King Lawler, his son just died.
Yeah,
they just had a funeral down there for him. Yeah, about time to change out my rag here. It's getting filthy.
Yeah, it's funny with wrestling. We never saw in England when I was growing up. We never had any of that local stuff, but we had wrestling was huge. I mean,
yeah, they were big.
These guys were bigger than we wouldn't know who football, baseball, basketball players are. We knew who wrestlers were.
Right.
The wrestling is
what part of England did you live in?
In London.
London, man, that city is awesome.
Who's your team? Crystal Palace?
No. I mean, to be honest, Crystal Palace is nearly walking distance from my house.
That's why I said so, man.
But I mean, I mean, that's a good guess, though. There's a lot of teams in London. But, no, Man United.
Man United?
Yeah. And, my brother says that's a cop-out because they're like 400 miles away.
It is. I just picked up a nice Man United jersey. I don't know where the hell I put it, though.
That's probably the only thing I don't really sell is jerseys. I have a bunch of them going back to the mid-90s.
For yourself, yeah.
I just keep them.
You can pull a jersey out, and Mo can tell you the team just from a blurry picture. He'll tell you the team, what year they wore the jersey.
All right.
What? Yeah.
I don't know if I'm that good, but
you got skill, buddy. Don't play off.
That's how I learned by the team had a soccer team.
He's done put you out there now. You better bring it, son.
He pulls up and he goes, this one was in this tournament and this one is this tournament, and I was like, man, that's just way over my head. I can't hardly determine a soccer jersey from.
You want an easy cheat for soccer jerseys? Wikipedia is great because they'll even tell you, because jerseys come out every 2 years by the sponsor. They'll tell you, 1996, 1998, they wore this color and this color. Let's see what that. Oh, Paul.
This is.
All right, that's German, I think. Bayern Munich. Yep.
That's my team.
That was a slightly easier one. They're a bigger team.
I got this Coopertown Dream Park hat, man. This is a slick hat, man. I just like the texture of the bill and stuff. Like, I guess it came from the Hall of Fame, but I don't know. Oh, I love that hat. I'm a hat nut. I don't like baseball, but I'll end up probably keeping it.
Man,
yeah, I'm a big
St. Louis, and you don't like baseball?
I do like the Cardinals, but like I like football. That's my sport,
okay.
And this is my Georgia. You can tell I wear the piss out of this hat. That's my Georgia Bulldogs hat,
nice.
And it's about time to replace it. It's red and faded,
about
but
time to replace
I wear that
it with a good hat too, like a roll tide hat.
Oh my God! I'm gonna throw you. Wait till I see you, man. I'm gonna put.
Wait a minute. I got the hammer, man. I got the hammer on this chat. Don't forget that.
Listen, roll tide fan is worse than Man United.
Yeah, I can't stand. I always root for the underdog. That's just who I've always been. Like, I just can't. I don't know. Like, and that's why I love the Cardinals.
Georgia is your team then.
Oh, Russ, what about this? What's the second biggest team in Alabama?
The second biggest team?
Second biggest. You already know what the biggest supported team in Alabama is.
Auburn.
The second biggest team. Second biggest team. I forgot their name.
Auburn.
No, I don't know what I was asking because everyone's talking about Alabama.
No.
That's how I was going to say. It would be all.
Well, but Mo said team, so you have to you have to rule.
I mean, it could be any sport.
You have to rule. Oh, there's only one sport. The next biggest team is probably the next biggest supported team is probably the Mobile Mud Dogs. Now they've got a school kind of close. It's over in Georgia they got a school, but they don't have a team.
Mud Dogs, isn't that the team in that Adam Sandler movie?
I forgot what the Mobile minor league team. I forgot what they were. I think they were like the Shrimpers or something. It's something kind of Gumpish.
That's like the worst name ever, Shrimpers.
Oh, you got to come down and watch our Savannah Bananas.
I think you sent me a link to that. They were doing like some 80s song. I forget which one it was now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are. Well, they're just a college summer league, so they're semi-pro.
You get all the
they wore. Oh, it's hilarious, and they wore kilts for one game. And they have sold out for, I think, 60 games in a row now, which sellout is like 4,000 seats.
Yeah, because there's no other teams there.
No, well, it's a very fan first. I tell you, if you want to study marketing, go look at, because when I was here before, we went to what we called the Sand Gnats, and they were a minor league team out of your area, for the Mets, and they were single A, and they would draw maybe 1,000, maybe 1,500, and I kept telling them. Yeah, and I kept telling the owners, I said, and the owners and the manager, I kept saying, you've got to change it over to an event, make it a fan event.
Yeah.
And they didn't, so they left, and this guy came in with this college pro team, and he literally sells out. It's the hottest ticket in town when they're going. He wears, when I saw the name Savannah Bananas, I just loved it because I knew that was going to be a marketing genius. Everybody wears yellow. He wears a suit. They sell bananas. They sell frozen bananas. They sell banana daiquiris. They sell, and he's got a book out now, Jesse Cole, and I'm getting to see him, and I've only met him once, but it's just he's brilliant marketing. He's
that's
on
a jersey right there.
Yeah.
I can see that old AIG jersey. I have that one.
Which? Oh, he pulled up another one.
Yeah, it's probably from like
picked out. Yeah.
2009.
Mo's 2 for 2.
That is Real Madrid.
I'm showing the logo.
The horrible team right there.
He's the soccer jersey Rain Man.
dig deeper, Krillin. Make it harder.
Yeah, that's not exactly tough ones to.
Instead of getting them home to watch Judge Wapner, you got to get them home to watch soccer.
Two of the biggest clubs in the world.
Well, ironically, like Russ, you said that team had 4,000 seats. Are they 4,000 seat stadiums too, or is it like half empty?
Our little stadium here?
Yeah.
It's like 4,000 seats.
That's the key right there. I think because I've heard like Major League Soccer, which is like, I don't know, 8th, 9th, 10th ranked sport in this country right now. They're coming back big time because instead of having like shared seatings, 60,000 seaters where they're selling out maybe 15,000, they're getting 25,000 seaters. They're getting not even 3,000 seats.
Less than that.
So then you get a community, you get like that feel, like you said, and then it feels like a team.
Our stadium was built like in 1923, our baseball stadium. So it fits Savannah perfectly. And but we went to a game and just had a ball. I mean, their first base coach dances. I mean, it's just crazy.
Oh, so you're in Georgia. You're not in Alabama.
No. I'm in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, so that's way far away from Alabama. So I thought you were talking about Roll Tide. We talking about Roll Tide.
Yeah. Well, you can,
There's a lot of
Bama
Roll
fans
Turd fans out there.
everywhere.
Really? Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I thought that was like.
Yeah.
What about Bulldogs?
Everywhere, man.
Yeah,
they're the best team.
They were good like 30 years ago once.
Who?
No,
they almost Alabama.
I saw them play.
They couldn't stop
Hawaii.
a second stringer.
I saw them play.
Georgia can't even stop a second stringer, John. I mean, come on.
Is Scott Zilke putting you up to this?
About 5 years ago, they played a bowl game. They played Hawaii, and they beat them by like 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was like 50-5. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I tell you what, I think.
Oh, did you have football there? Wait, don't they have a team down there, a professional? Who do they got down there?
Well, we've got two close. We've got the Atlanta Falcons and then the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jaguars are probably closer to you by driving, right? If you drive.
Jags are about 3 hours away, and Atlanta is 4 hours away. Most people here, because of the association with Atlanta, they are Atlanta Falcons fans. But we also have a big, about half and half, but yet we're also we have a lot of immigrants from all over, I guess, transplants, because we're a military town.
Okay.
And we're a coastal town. There's literally people from every state in the United States that live in Savannah.
Yeah.
I mean, California's starting to move out here now, which is something that didn't happen 10 years ago.
Yeah,
California.
Yeah.
California, they're moving everywhere. There's a story I read about them moving into Idaho, and the people in Idaho were like, they're worried about them.
There's signs like bumper stickers in like Ohio, not Ohio, in Oregon and Washington, like the CA go home, Californians go home. They don't want us anywhere because we move everywhere.
Well, it's a lot of the conservatives that are moving out, which is fine with me. If you're conservative, that's fine. But if you're gonna want to, and it's no offense, and I don't mean anything bad, but if you support the terrible policies that made California kind of a turd hole, then live there and live under those policies. Don't go somewhere else and be like, socialism. It didn't work in California, but it's going to work in Texas. It'll work in Georgia. No, it's cancer. Quit spreading it. But we've got a lot of people from.
We've got a lot of people from New York too. That come down.
Yeah.
We assimilate them pretty quickly. But
yeah. I like having.
That's a rule.
Yeah, you just have a pleasant conversation with somebody and just talk to them and be like, man, you moved out of that place because those policies didn't work. So don't move here and vote those same kind of people in because it didn't work there.
That's not the way we do it down here in Savannah.
The Floridians, that's what they hate too. People live in Florida. They say, "Oh, don't move here because then you're changing everything on us." That's what they all say.
Yeah. Florida must have a long history of people from New York going down there.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's a long history. Back in the day, and the old stories. See, Mo, how old are you?
40 this year.
Okay, me too. I'll be 40 soon. But like back, I don't know how long you've been in the United States.
Oh, a long time, since '89.
Yeah, you don't have an accent. You don't have a London accent, obviously.
No.
You're not speaking Cockney over here.
No, not anymore.
But
he does off air, though. I will tell you, this is his YouTube American voice.
Yeah.
When you call Mo, when me and Mo talk on the phone, he's got a real heavy British accent.
Yeah. Tony Blair.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it all wrong. You need to use that accent. Look at what is the European the couple that does the
Nick and Andrea.
Yeah, Nick and Andrea, man. People love that accent, dude. Bring it out, man. Bring it out.
Here's the funny thing about accents. I came here in 7th grade, probably the worst time to move. And 7th grade, people would just come up to me and just say something. And I would say, what do you want me to say? And then they just and then that was it. So I spent my entire 7th and 8th grade getting rid of any trace of any kind of accent possible. That was junior high for me.
Did the ladies not like it?
I don't know. I was just so self-conscious after a while. And then I don't know what it was. For some people, for some reason, people thought I had an Australian accent. So, hey, Crocodile Dundee. I'm like, you're like thousands of miles off. How did you even get that?
They don't know the difference. They can't tell.
They could have been like hey, there you South African, or anywhere else they speak with that.
Exactly. 11, 12-year-olds, who's going to know? So.
No, I can tell if you give me any accent, I can tell you where the person's from. I'm very good with the accents. I don't care.
You hear them all because you're in a place where hundreds of countries walk by any street.
Yeah, I know right away. I could even Spanish. Like some people, they just hear Spanish and they're like, okay, that's like I could tell you like maybe 15 different Spanish accents.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah.
Like,
have you ever heard a true New Orleans accent?
I mean, just what I heard on television.
that one will. You go down to New Orleans and listen, and if you're not, Nolan's. If you're not careful, you'll hear Boston, and it's absolutely bizarre when you hear that, and you'll think because I've ran into people and they start talking. I'm like, that's a Boston accent, and they go, Boston? That I'm from New Orleans, and I'm like, man, okay, because if they don't have the Southern drawl, it's a very Bostonian accent. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre.
I tell you what, I'm in an impasse here. I've got this laser printer that I got setting over here, and it works. So I'm like, I paid $7.50 for it, and I'm like, I want to keep it now. I think I'm going to keep it. I think I'm just going to keep it. I got
keep it until the
toner runs out.
The toner runs out. Because the
toner's good.
What kind is it?
It printed out. It's a Brother. I mean, it's a Brother. Dadgummit, I don't know. Hell, it's up there on top.
Yeah.
Who puts the HL5340D?
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Brother.
Run that thing. Run it until it runs out, and then I bought one like you. I think I paid $5 for it at a church sale, and the gal goes, "Well, it needs new toner," and I ran that thing for a year before it needed new toner.
I make a lot of flyers. I hand a lot of flyers out for my business. Yeah, it's listed. It's $119 in free shipping. I mean, it's going to cost $25 to ship through FedEx.
Small post.
What is it?
Small post.
Yeah. I don't know what my wife does. I just say, hey, honey, I got this big item to ship, and she takes care of it.
Yeah.
I thought you asked Mo how to ship it.
No. My wife, the ink cartridges, the toners for it, for like the Brother toner is $34.95. So,
but it'll last you a long time.
As much as I print, yeah. We already have one laser, but it's good to have a backup because stuff happens.
Oh yeah, and when you least expect it, it happens.
I've already
you
ran
guys are
through,
talking me into it.
An inkjet since I've been here in back in Savannah. So 4 months ran through. It's out. It's eating up ink like crazy, and I'm like going back to the laser.
Yeah, because I don't print color.
Well,
I'm black.
They used
black
to,
and white.
But black and white, and this silly little, and all we do is labels with that printer. And an ink cartridge lasts about like a month. I was like,
Did you ever try one of those things where you actually put the ink back in with a syringe type thing? It's super messy. I tried it one time.
Yeah, I'm not that coordinated.
You can end up just storing the printer though, like if it leaks.
Yeah. Well, also if you don't buy the cheap inks, I had a printer that was actually made by Kodak, which was actually a decent printer, and I don't even think Kodak exists anymore. This was maybe like 7-8 years ago. But the printer was pretty good. But then what I did was I tried buying an ink that was like an aftermarket ink and totally destroyed the whole thing.
Yep, that will happen.
And then now I bought it in the estate sale, an HP 8600. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. It's a big heavy duty. And then I plugged it in. I did all the work and everything. And now it says there's a problem with the printer head. So I go on eBay to say, oh, how much is a printer head? Printer head, they want like $180 for printer head. I was like, oh my God.
It's a big
What are the other parts on that? Is it worth parting out for anything else other than a printer head?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should try to do something else with it. I mean, because it's the heavy duty model. It's the Office series, whatever. But I got it for $20 at the estate sale. But the woman, I'm sure, didn't know that it needed a printer head.
Yeah, they used to send those guys. I don't know if you've ever spoken to a copier salesman. Those guys that sell the ink, they're worse than car sales.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they come around, they try and get you on a program to buy X, Y, and Z every month. Forget about it. Get rid of the thing.
Looks like Captain Whacking Cracker is a Cubs fan, so hey. At least none of us are Cubs fans.
Nope.
All right,
No,
let's
what are you
see
drinking?
here.
A Smirnoff Ice?
Huh?
Oh,
What is that? A Smirnoff Ice you drinking over there?
Seagram's Making Me Happy. That's what it's called.
You know, I'm dying for that right now.
$3
Let
at
me see that
Walmart.
bottle.
all right. So let's see. I got to get rid of John for being a Georgia fan. I got to get rid of Thomas for being a Cubs fan. Thomas, and I used to like you, man.
You said something about Doc.
Cubs.
Love to hear.
What in the world?
Love to hear Dr. John. Who's Dr. John?
You.
And me. I ain't no doctor. I need a longer frickin'. This ain't gonna work, dude.
John,
It ain't
when we gotta
gonna
have
work.
that weight loss contest?
What is it?
When we got, it was
longer
me,
print
you,
cord.
and Lonnie, and about 5 other people. The way it was supposed. Remember, you said we're gonna have a weight loss contest. Biggest
We
loser.
need to, because I'm huge, man. I'm frickin' a monster.
You should do it by percentage then.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and what happened to Deldon? He disappeared. He doesn't do the live shows anymore.
Deldon got a girlfriend, and he's too busy doing other things, I guess. He found him a sugar mama.
Oh, nice. I'm happy for him then.
No, he found a good. He found somebody he really likes.
Good.
I'm not
for him.
picking at. I'm not picking at him. I'm just picking at him.
No, I'm happy for him. But guess what? Can I tell you a story though? I'm gonna tell you another story. I had a friend. The guy looked exactly like Deldon, but not as heavy. Okay. Now, but with the bald head and the way he spoke and everything, all the same shit, right? I opened up Then the guy got this girlfriend, right? She was the most beautiful girl you've seen in years. Gorgeous, beautiful, and I would even bust his balls, like, man, how did you get this girl? Anyway, make a long story short, months later, I opened up a restaurant, and he never came to visit me at this restaurant. So I was like, kind of, when you open up a business, especially restaurant, everybody comes and visits you, right? That's just the way it goes. I mean, your friends, you come wish somebody luck, you have dinner there, whatever it is. Anyway, I found out from another friend through the grapevine, like, I disrespected his girlfriend somehow. I said something or some bullshit. All right.
Not you. Come on, Krillin. You would never say it.
No.
I can't see that.
No, I don't disrespect somebody's girlfriend.
No,
I don't do
I'm
that.
just giving you crap, bro.
I don't talk about girlfriends. That's one thing. You never hear talk about girlfriends or people's wives, and that's the last thing in the world I would ever do. Yeah. Anyway, make a long story short, he says this is I just heard through the grapevine. So, but of course, guess what happens? Now, the girlfriend, she dumps him. All right? And all it wasn't just me that he disregarded, but all his other friends, because he had this beautiful girlfriend, and whatever she wanted to do, let's go do this, let's go do that. He ignored all his regular friends, all of his buddies and everything like that. And then guess what? Now he's got what? He's got shit. He's got nothing because he forgot all his friends.
Well, I'll tell you. You don't never want to do that to your buddies. That's for sure. Yeah. Unless you put a ring on it and you marry her, then I don't know. Then I get happy wife, happy life. But my wife don't care, so she's not one of them controlling women.
Like, who are you talking to at 2:00 in the morning?
Yeah, no, she's like, who? She couldn't even care. She'd probably be like, okay, that's fine. You're leaving me alone.
I can't.
Yeah, she's like,
good morning anyway. So.
She's like, you're up late at night. Who are you talking to at late night? Oh, don't worry, honey. It's just some middle-aged, overweight guys that.
I'm talking to some guy from New York. I'm talking to some guy from California. Talking to some guy from Georgia.
And England.
You don't even.
And it's all recorded too.
I don't know who you're calling. Right. I don't know who you're calling middle aged, but
I didn't want to say advanced.
If I lived 110.
Yeah, I didn't want to say advanced. John. You know what's funny? We're speaking of whatchamacallit, this guy Nick. I gave this guy like a $10 super chat, right? And I says, look, and Chad was on the same. Chad was on the same. You know, they were doing a live show where everybody goes on, you know. And I said, I want to hear you do the best redneck accent. And he was talking right next to Chad. You know, Chad's got that twang, you know. I was like, I want you to do your best. And he was like, I'm so embarrassed because Chad was just talking. He was like, what do you mean? I don't sound like that. Because, you know, Nick, he can't. How the hell is he going to do it? You know, he can't.
Yeah.
But he was struggling. He was sweating like a thing. He's like, oh, man, I'm trying to do it. I was like, oh, shit. I was laughing also. To hear him try to speak, you know, like
redneck,
you know, country boy.
Yeah, I think he's
I got to go get my
middle of London.
Man, you're pumping them out, man. How many did you take pictures of?
This much so far.
Oh my god. I didn't even get 10 listings done when I was listening to.
These are only pictures. I do pictures at one time and then I do listings after. But
yeah,
this is why I like YouTube. Is I try not to think. Thinking is the enemy.
Yeah.
Oh, dig
All right,
photo.
3 o'clock in the morning. I'm out. You all have a good night.
All right. See you.
Get your beauty sleep, bro. Go dogs.
And eat a lot of it.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. What in the heck? Why do I have so many daggum VGA cables and so many daggum HDMI cables? I know. I need just. I got. Here's a daggum.
I've got boxes and boxes like that.
Oh, look at that right there. That's exactly what I needed. That's why I don't throw nothing away, guys.
It's a printer cable.
It is a printer cable. My computer is right here, and the printer is right there. So the only solution is probably this 30-foot printer cable.
Yeah.
But I can. I mean, I could put that on the other side of the room, but you know, I got it. I keep it. This is when you sell electronics.
I feel like such a dumbass. I just bought an extension for. I needed a printer cable that's to be longer. I paid $35 for an extension. $35 freaking dollars.
Oh my god! Don't you have junk stores in New York?
Junk stores. Yeah, it's called My Room.
Well, you should have looked harder, bro. I don't know how long this is, man, but I guarantee you that's every bit of.
That's not 30 feet. 15.
It's probably 15. But that's huge. I mean, I'm not. I almost said 6 foot. I'd be lying big time. I'm 6 foot tall.
But how?
Yeah, that's 15.
All right, John. You want to blast from the past from when we were kids?
What's that?
Here, take a look at the screen. You remember this, John?
Butthead. Yeah. What is that? The sucker. What is it?
Encyclopedia.
Yeah, because encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I have chat pulled up and it was covered. Not that I've been paying attention. I'm sorry, Captain Whacking Cracker.
Whacking.
I've been Whacking Cracker. That's the coolest name ever. But he's talking in chat, and I don't like to leave chat hanging because you know we're talking like a bunch of little schoolgirls. And
yeah, I'm pretty bad with the chat.
How many people in there? A dozen?
No,
I don't know. No, there's probably just a couple people watching.
Yeah, but John, you got all these subscribers. Why don't you get this guy some subscribers over here? You got
him some subscribers. He
has
better content than I do.
You got like
I go around with my family, and we go to state nature sites, and I make videos and stuff. I'm telling you, you want to get subs? I know. I figured it out. That freaking lady, what's her name? She's awesome. She's a real sweet lady. Anita Benita or something like that. Her videos, forget about it. She's got 1,000. She's got less than 1,000 subs, but every one of her videos get close to like her video she uploaded today has 500 views. from 2-3 days ago. They have 600 views, and it's that jewelry jar stuff, man. It's jewelry. Them jewelry ladies,
I know they love that jewelry. And I've been telling the estate sale companies in my neighborhood. I said, look, you could sell online on YouTube your jewelry jars that you don't sell, but they don't want. You know what's funny too? It's like you tell people stuff. You say, look, you know what? I guess people are so used to listening to bullshit artists that when you actually tell them something that's good to make money, they don't listen to you.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But it's because they don't want to. They don't want to. They either they don't want to or they don't know. I mean, like, people are weird. But yeah, I would love. I would have Mo. I would love for Mo, if he ever wanted to, he could do his show on my channel, and he could run the show, and I'll just stand back and just be like, "This is my buddy Mo, and he's got some cool stuff going, and you guys need to go check him out because I'm cool like that. That's how I got my 1,000 subs, is people just being cool, and there's two types of YouTubers. There's that YouTuber that's giving useful information that's helpful, and then there's that guy that's just like, I don't know, man. There's just two types. I'm not going to get into
bullshit
it.
Bullshit just say it. Yeah. Full of shit.
Yeah.
and I gravitate towards Mo. I gravitate towards Russ, Lonnie, Chad.
That's why I hate when you added music to your videos. I says, you know what? Get rid of the fucking music. Because you know what? People, it's like, you don't need the music introduction.
Well, I always do that. I just did that because I just stole that somewhere, and I've had to use that for a while. And I'm still going to be, but I'm going to do some serious stuff. Like I said, when I got monetized, when I get to about, I've been talking to Shane, and he had a video that blew up.
Really?
And his AdSense is pretty impressive for 1 month.
Really?
It'd pay almost my house payment.
Hey.
And I'm not going to get into his business, but if you can create content that people want to see, and that people will like, if you can build something that people really want to, man, I see why some of these guys are doing what they're doing, because
they're making money.
There's a lot of incentive, but I want to do something more like Mike Wolf, more like American Pickers. I want to go out and I want to dig through barns and record it and come home and edit videos together.
But isn't that kind of? I mean, that's a lot of work, and it's tough to make the film because your wife is going to film you while you're digging through a box? I mean,
my son, my wife, go out as a family and do it. Nice, do it.
They don't mind. They don't mind doing that stuff to kids.
Oh no, my son loves it. Don't you know? Yeah, he's excited.
See, I had the opportunity when I had the brick and mortar. We would see all kinds of cool stuff coming through the door. If I'd taken videos of any of that stuff, like we had not celebrities, but like people that you would have known. Like we had like this one boxer that came in one time. We shipped to some interesting people. We got interesting stuff that came through the door. So if I'd done videos of any of that stuff, it would have been good. But that's before I even knew about any of this stuff. I wasn't even on selling that much on eBay.
Shane,
I'm a little. I'm a little disappointed because I sold an item to somebody who was somewhat, I mean, I don't want to say famous, but very high up in the fashion industry.
Okay.
And I put a handwritten letter in the box that I sent my package to the guy, whatever. And I was hoping that they were going to respond, but I don't know. Maybe the guy, his English isn't so great. He's a French guy.
Or maybe he isn't. Maybe he isn't the guy that opened the box. It's probably one of his people that work for him. Yeah. And they're like, "Well, I ain't gonna mess."
I mean, if they're that rich, they're probably buying so much stuff they might not even know what they're getting.
Yeah, this guy, and I made sure when I put it in the bag in the box, and I put the handwritten note in there. Because it's a long story. I have a jacket from that company from like 50 years ago, and I wanted to know information on it. And, the guy never responded or nothing. The guy's the head designer for a company called Brioni. You might find it in Silicon Valley. You might find it.
Wait, Brioni, like the suit maker?
Yeah, Brioni.
Okay.
Yeah, it's and they're super expensive, and they're very hot right now. Brioni is super. Even the mod, like a lot of suits that they make now, a lot of them are designed after Brioni, like the traditional. Like I can look at a Brioni suit from like 50 feet away, and I can say that's Brioni. I could just tell it has a very distinct look. Very has a high up shoulder, has a high up sleeves. You got to be in really good shape to wear a Brioni suit. They're really sharp looking, but you have to be like the guy who wears the Brioni, like the suit that you would think, like the guy who has that now is the spokesman, the last guy to be James Bond. What's his name?
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see him as James Bond in a recent, film, whatever, the suit he's wearing is a Brioni suit.
Got it. I mean, I've shipped to some interesting people, but most of it wasn't eBay stuff. It was just them shipping. Like we shipped to the Elvis estate. We shipped a bunch of stuff to them.
Awesome.
But that's to the estate. It wasn't,
well, obviously not Elvis.
Scylla Presley or something like that. But I mean,
Lisa Marie.
We shipped a lot of stuff to Hollywood, like to who was it? We shipped to Death Row Records multiple times.
Really
cool.
Yeah, there was a lady that came in. She said she was something in marketing. I don't know. So she would just do overnight letters. It wasn't anything fancy. So you see people all the time.
Speaking of films, do you watch a lot of television? TV shows that are on Amazon and stuff like that?
Not too much anymore. I mean, I do have Amazon. I don't watch as much anymore though.
Do you remember a show that was on a few years ago called Red Oaks or Red Oak? No. With Paul Reiser or something like that?
I know who Paul Reiser is.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, it was because I sold a couple of suits that he wore for the show.
Oh, okay.
I got them there's a film studio not too far from my house, and that's where they filmed for this show for Red Oak, and they did an estate sale where they sold out, the whole, like all their costume stuff and everything.
Oh,
so
nice.
I have a bunch of stuff that was, and it's cool because in the suits custom made for him, it says Paul Reiser. So, and suits like brand new, I sold, pretty, quickly. Bunch of other stuff that was worn on the show, but the show wasn't really popular, so not that many people are gonna. I didn't even put it in the search title, because if people never heard of Red Oaks TV show,
I hadn't heard of it, but I've heard of Paul Reiser though.
Yeah, Paul Reiser was a big actor. Yeah. He is a big actor. This suit was custom made suit from a company called Martin Greenfield.
Okay.
They're well known more on the East, because they're in Brooklyn. So they're, like, that's one thing. If you find suits, certain ones do very well, certain ones do okay, certain ones don't do shit. And a lot of times it's not even to do with the quality. It's just if it's known. I mean, if you find probably the best suits in the world to find are actually London suits. If you find Savile Row suits, they're very hard to find.
I got a Savile Row sweater right now. I don't really do suits though right now. I'm too lazy to measure them out.
Well, but I'm saying is if you could find, like out there, like if you could find like Huntsman Brothers, Anderson and Shepherd, there's I think what's it called, the Pool and something, whatever it is, all the custom made ones that they have on that street.
Yeah,
those suits, they go for big money. But you can tell right away when you pick up the suit, you can tell that it's 100 times better than any suit you ever picked up. They're even better than the Italian suits that are very expensive too. The Italian suits are not even as good. Even the Brioni and the Ermenegildo Zegna and the Canali, they're not nearly as good. The ones that are the whatchamacallit, the Savile Row are the best in the world.
Okay, that's good to know.
But what's good too is that I found one at Stavers just last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. But I looked under the sleeve, had 1,000 moth holes, and I'm like, shit. And you know what it said? It said made for James Diamond. Now, do you know who James Dimon is? You don't follow stock market, I guess. I'm assuming it was for Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of Citigroup. No, you know.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
well, he's a big boss. You know.
Yeah.
You know, he's a big shot. But I was like, I should have bought it anyway, but it had too many holes in it, and couldn't find the. That's one thing too. That's better about Savers than Salvation Army. Savers, you usually they'll put the pants with this jacket. Salvation Army, they give you the jacket, and then you got to go rummaging through the pants section to hope you find the pants that match.
Yeah, our Salvation Armies are kind of a lot grosser too. So Savers is a little bit cleaner.
And they're in the hood too. You know, most of them they're not in the best areas. Savers are usually in a better area.
Exactly.
Usually. So, but mine, I usually go right from one to the next. I'll go right from the Salvation Army, and then the Savers is only like another 5 minutes down the road, and then boom, you pick up whatever it is over there. You know, I can hit it up pretty fast.
Yeah. Is that what you do? More suits than anything, or you do wall clothing?
Yeah, probably the majority. That's my main thing. Like, for example, like the estate sales. When I'm going to estate sales, the first thing I'm looking for is the suits.
Okay.
Because you know what, I think you were saying it's an overlooked item because a lot of people don't know about the suits. Number one, and also the women don't know that much about them because most of the estate sale companies out here are run by women.
Yeah.
And if there was a suit, I bought from one company, a woman. She had 5 Huntsman suits. Each one I sold for like $200, and I got them for like $20 a pop. So, but she didn't know. But to her, she didn't know that these were, suits made in England. She just didn't know. I mean, she's not stupid. She sells jewelry and sells rugs and stuff like that. But that's one thing too, is that everybody can't be an expert on everything, and the companies, they do get stuff wrong. They don't know everything. So you can beat them.
That's what we're counting.
What is something like this called? Like it's some kind of vest.
Yeah, it's just a vest.
It's all of this stuff is handmade and hand stitched. It was for
but there's never a designer on it. It's hard to sell anything without a designer on it.
It was made for a pro football player, Jolan Dunbar.
It
got this.
It has a designer on it. A lot of that custom stuff for a lot of athletes is really worth not much, unless the person who made it is somebody who's well known.
Yeah.
And the name is everything.
Yeah.
With clothing, it's all people only. You can, when you go through the racks at the thrift store, the first thing you do, you look at the tag. You don't even look at the item first. You look at the tag first. You say, okay, based on this tag, that's what the item is going to sell for.
One thing I prefer to find for sweaters is stuff from like New Zealand and Australia seems to do well. Not just the Coogee stuff, but they have all these weird brands.
There's one called Imaru. There's also another Canadian brand to look out for called Tundra.
I have a Tundra sweater. I thought they were Australian. They're Canadian?
No, Tundra is Canadian.
Okay.
So, Tundra ain't gonna be. Obviously, it's not gonna be Australia. There's no Tundra in Australia.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But they had what was it saying? Let's see if just give me 1 second. Hold on.
I think I have a Tundra sweater actually.
had a spider running around inside this thing. That I was trying to get them off.
Inside the shirt.
Inside the jacket. Yeah,
Nice.
I found that's one of the reasons why I want to start getting my own warehouse, because spiders love to lay eggs from the stuff that you bring in.
There you go. There's Coogee.
Yeah, I just sold this tonight, actually, just as I was listening. But this is not. This is not the most. This is not really that desirable.
Gotcha.
This is the real deal Coogee. I sold it. I took a little less because it's 1,000 degrees outside, and you know, when you're slow of business, I just say accept. I didn't have much money into it, so I got about $40 plus shipping for it.
Okay, that's not bad.
And yeah, and this is the wool one. The wool does not do as well as the one that like Biggie Smalls was wearing that you see in the videos.
Yeah,
that's the cotton ones, and also the one with the bright design. Like, you know, you see the ones that are like all like crazy design.
Yeah.
Those are the cotton ones. Those sell for a lot more money. The wool ones. Yeah.
Okay, Krillin. The name of this is Tessuto Lanificio.
Tessuto just means material.
Okay, Lanificio di.
That's the name of the material. You're telling me the name, not the designer. That's the name of the material, not the name of the designer.
Okay, it says Prestige 150.
Let me see. Put it up to the camera.
It's Astoria in black. Is that?
Yeah, but let me see but I gotta see the. But you gotta be very. I want to see what tag you're showing me. Labeled.
Oh.
The label.
That's the label.
Okay, slow down. Yeah, De Marzoni. Yeah, that's the. But you could put. But there's a lot of suits made with that material, so you could put that in the search bar, and that will come up.
You mean something like this? Let's see if he's.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That one. That Tundra's that one. I would think it's not as bright, but I would shoot for like $50-$60 for that.
Yeah, I mean, it stood out to me on the rack. Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, Canada. But yeah.
I mean, some people, you know what? Some people like to say, I can get some. Yeah, you can ask $100, but you know,
it's gonna sit.
It's gonna sit. So sell it. Like even this other one. You know what? I get a little more. I'm a little slow. Just fucking sell it. I mean, I'm getting this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
sweaters. I mean, I don't know. Sweaters kind of sit for me a little bit anyway, so I like to get rid of them.
I love that's the second thing I look for. I look for number one is the suits. Number two, I look for like the Irish sweaters, like the Aran knits, the Aran ARAN knit sweaters, fisherman style sweaters. I do very well with those. They always sell. Not always the huge profits, but the thick Irish sweaters, Scottish sweaters, you know, and they're kind of overlooked. A lot of people, they don't even like them, whatever. Or the old LL Bean sweaters, they sell. They really do.
I like LL Bean. I like vests actually, not just the what do you call it, the sweater vest, but the kind of, I don't know what you call them, but they're kind of not vinyl, but kind of puffy.
Cardigan. Oh, okay.
So I mean, LL Bean does those, Brooks Brothers does those. But yeah, those seem to do well for me, especially in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good pickup. Vests do well. Cardigan vests do well. That's always a good pickup. But if I was you run to Savers, I'm telling you, I guarantee you'll find suits in there that people don't even want to go near. Yeah. They don't even want to touch it because they don't know how to. It takes a while. Let me first of all take the half an hour for me to list a suit. Easy. It takes a long time.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I shouldn't be because you get more money out of them, but.
Yeah, but you know how much? That's exactly a suit you buy for $20, you could sell for close to $100.
Yeah.
You know, if you start looking up suits online, if you find a Brioni suit, now you're looking at over 200.
What's
you
your
look
return rate on something like that?
I'm sorry.
What's your return rate on something like that?
Well, yeah. Well, so if you're still paying the $20-25, and you're gonna at Savers they don't even know.
Yeah.
They don't say, oh, well, I'm gonna charge $50 because it's Brioni. They don't even know. They put everything. Most of the suits they put out there, the highest they usually put a suit out in my area is like 30. Like I just picked up a Burberry suit, and I only picked it up because it was the new one. It was like the new label. That's another thing with suits, is that sometimes like anything, especially clothing reselling, you want to get the new. In general, you want to get the newer labels, but then there's the exception. And there's Coogee, that kind of stuff, that era, 90s, you want to get the older label. Calvin Klein, you want the old label. Guess jeans, you want the old label. Tommy Hilfiger, you want the old label. But but most of the other brands, you want the new label, especially with suits. People don't wear the old style suits with the big shoulders and the big lapels. They want the tight lapels. They want a tight shoulder. That's just the way, and they want the tight pants. That's the way people wear suits now. It's a little bit different. So, but like I said, Brioni, it doesn't matter what year, because all the other suits are designed after. A lot of them are designed from their Brioni suit.
Gotcha.
But if you find the right ones, you can get great money. Like the other one, like I'll easily get 100 for that other Burberry suit. I paid 30, which is, to pay for any clothing item is $30 is, it's a lot, in my opinion. Yeah. But I know I'll get 100. I know I'll get that $100. And I don't, and that's another thing too, is I never look at ROI. To me, ROI is, I look at dollars, because when I used to look at ROI, say, oh, I can make 10 times the money or 15 times, I was looking at cheap items, and then, okay, wow, I could sell this item for $2 and get it for 20. But it's still better to buy something for 5 and sell it for 30 than 2 into 20. You know what I mean? Like it's like I got too caught up with like, oh, well, the percent, especially when I first started eBay, it was like percentages. Like percentages is good for like, some big corporation where they're figuring out every little thing. But here it's how much. I bought that big lot that I was saying, the guy from Craigslist. I paid $350. I paid like $50 an item, which is a lot for suits and stuff like that. But they had tags. One of the blazers was $4,000. But of course, when I go to take the pictures today, I'm looking for the buttons. Like expensive suits, they don't put the buttons on because you're going to adjust it, so they leave the buttons off. But they put the buttons usually on the inside, in the pocket. But the buttons weren't there, so now I gotta figure out how to get these buttons for this suit, for this blazer, whatever. Yeah. Because I don't want to sell it without the buttons, because $4,000 blazer. A lot
of money.
I want to try to get $500 for it, somewhere in that ballpark. If not, now if I can't find the buttons, now you're looking at like, all right, what am I gonna I'm gonna take off $200 because I can't find the damn buttons. Even if I have to pay up for the buttons, depending on, I got to call the company, see if if they can even get the buttons. It's an older model suit, whatever, blazer, whatever.
Yeah, so I don't like suits, but still. I get bored of one thing too. I'm doing a lot of clothing right now. Next week or next month, I'll move back into hard goods. I'll go through cycles like that. And then I'll hit it hard, and then I like to list fast and then keep going and keep moving, move stuff in fast, moving out fast.
But I'll tell you why. Another reason why I like clothing is I think something you were talking about. You were like, you can kind of like what I was doing today, even with the pictures. If you can have a bin, like I have those plastic bins.
Yeah.
You could just do one after the next, measurement. So then you can knock a bunch out. When you're doing like what John does, for me, I get aggravated because it's like, okay, now I got a board game. Now I got a coffee mug. Now I got a microwave.
Yeah.
You know, and also there's a lot of time. And John, how much time do you do every day researching items? You must spend a ton of time.
I just look
Right?
stuff up. I'll take an item, I'll look it up on eBay. Each item I probably spend about 5 minutes research, 4 or 5 minutes listing.
Easily, probably more. If it's a real unique thing.
Thank
You know.
God most of it's not.
I just like old company names, old tags, whether it's clothing or a box or a video game or a board game or electronics. If it's old looking, I'll look it up.
Yeah. Well, I just sold actually about a couple weeks ago the which is pretty popular. If you can find the old Champion brand, you know, I had a bunch of T-shirts from the 1950s and 60s.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, and they had like stains on them and everything. Japanese guy bought them all.
I just saw yesterday in this same haul. I got a couple of old T-shirts. One was it's not that old. I think it's early '90s. That soft shirts, SOFFE, that little tag. I think that was a New York Dolls T-shirt. There was another one that was something, and it went within like a minute of me listing it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Concert T-shirts. If you find a New York Dolls T-shirt,
yeah,
well, that's going to be from the '80s. That's not from the '90s. New York Dolls.
Yeah, I doubt it was from the '60s or whatever. Whenever they were.
No,
out.
they're from the '80s and even late '70s to the '80s.
Oh, really? I thought they were from like the late '60s. The New York Dolls.
No. Buster Poindexter?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. But my point is I like old T-shirts if I can find them. I'm a little nervous though. A lot of reprints. A lot of repops.
Yeah, and that's
kind
the thing.
of tell.
Yeah, because you buy them and they send. You're gonna get guys from Malaysia. What they do is, you get guys that buy it, and then they send them back. You know a lot about rock and roll and stuff like that.
I mean, I've heard from you talking. Shane talked a little bit about it too. How they take them. They basically just want the design so they can copy it.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me show you here. I got it. I can't find it now, but there was a T-shirt from a band that I really wanted that was from California, and anyone I saw I wanted a particular T-shirt. And is John still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, John, you remember that? You know heavy metal music, rock and roll, or no?
Some.
Do you remember Suicidal Tendencies?
Yeah.
I remember the name. Yeah.
That's the story. The lead singer's name was Mike.
Yeah, Mike Muir.
Yeah.
And there was a shirt that you remember in wrestling, Raven. Remember Raven?
Yeah.
He used to wear this. Yeah, but Raven in his matches used to wear this one T-shirt, badass T-shirt. I have it somewhere, can't find it. But the original ones, when you go on eBay, they're like $300, $250, and I'm like, and also the size T-shirts from the old days,
they're smaller.
Made much. Oh, so I ordered a fake one from Malaysia, Indonesia, somewhere the fuck over there. It took 2 months to get here. 2 months. But I wanted that shirt.
The crazy card's in the chat, and he had a question. He said, so suits, they want cutting edge, and casual, they want vintage. I guess it's going back to your idea.
Well, we were talking about the concert shirts. The concert shirts, you want to find the stuff. Obviously, you want to find stuff 90s and older. Concert shirts from the 2000s. I mean, some people pick them up if you get them for $1.
Buy them, throw them in a bin, and forget about them for 10 years.
Yeah. But they usually print more and more of them. But you want to find the stuff. If you could find a New York Dolls T-shirt, I mean, that's what you want to look for.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because you talk about the sizes. I remember because we were walking through a market in Hong Kong, and I bought a Manchester United jersey. This is only like 2010, I think, and it says extra large, and then I have to wear an extra large, and I picked up the shirt. It says extra large in the tag. I'm like, this is like a small. I mean,
when Hong Kong,
I mean, it's that much of a difference.
You're gonna put it. You gotta put it on. It's gonna fit like a condom.
I didn't bother putting it on. I could see without even doing it. I mean, it was.
Yeah, it's tiny. But yeah, I want to show you something else too. I'll tell you another tag to look out for.
The Crazy Card said that he bought a bunch of really crazy stuff. If you watched his video, says I came really close to buying clothes my last haul, which he probably should have. The straight jacket ended up being a posy, about $200. That's a nice straight jacket, and some of the leather bondage ended up being fetters, about $400, both made in London. He bought a bunch of crazy stuff. His last video is pretty cool.
I need to check that out. The Crazy Card. Okay, I'll check that out.
Whenever we ended your live chat earlier, and your video you did earlier, I had gotten an email from at 6:21. I'd gotten an email saying that I was approved to join the YouTube Partner Program. I was like, awesome. Dadgummit. I was like, I seen that. And I was like, man, I was walking on sunshine.
That means you can monetize.
Yeah, all my stuff's monetized now.
Nice.
So now you have to be careful what you say. Like, it's so funny. Like, don't curse on my channel. I don't want to lose the monetization.
Oh, I ain't that worried about it because I ain't making that much. When I ain't making enough money to care, and when I do make enough money, it won't matter. It ain't like I'm ever going to get rich doing this.
Look, hey, some people do, right? I said, you know,
Sell
some
your
people
soul
making
for rock and roll.
Some people making a lot of money. All right,
that's right.
Time for me to go to bed because guess what? It's like what, 3 o'clock in the morning. What time is it?
Oh, gee, yeah, it's 12:26 here. I'm on the West Coast though, so you guys are.
He's in the Midwest.
It's 2:30 here.
So you're in but you're in Central Time Zone.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 2:30.
Yeah, Central, and then I'm on the East.
If I wasn't talking to you and Mo, I'd be watching Seinfeld episodes on YouTube or something stupid.
Yeah, have you seen Comedians in Cars?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as good, but it's some of it's pretty good, depending on who he interviews.
I
watch a lot of.
Yeah.
I like to watch. I'm sure, John, you watch the same thing. You know, the shoot interviews, the wrestling shoot interviews.
Yeah. I'm kind of out of it right now. I'm not really big wrestling at the moment. But I've watched tons.
I'm talking about the shoot interviews.
I've seen all that stuff.
The guys that are broken down, like, Vince McMahon screwed me over.
Yeah. Everyone got screwed by Vince McMahon. That's like working in the porn industry and not laying it to Jenna Jameson or someone like that. I mean, he's got it to everyone. That dude's a walking screw job. He almost
did you like ECW or no? That's only East Coast.
I watched it a little bit, but it was never that big. But I was a big WCW fan, and I was a big WWF fan. I used to sit and watch WWF with my grandpa, and then I got out of it from about 92 through 95, 96, and then when you got Undertaker and Stone Cold and Rock, pretty much the best wrestling ever. I mean, just was in that late 90s through early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then that became all PG. It became PG. And I mean, like when the.
And listen, there's a channel called Pro Wrestling Rarities. And all they do is you got to sub to this channel. All they do is play matches that were indie matches, but in between the guys' careers. Like they have guys that were like on top, like the Road Warriors, but in between when they were in between WCW and WWF, whatever it was. So, and they had this is one of the best matches I ever saw. was around 2000. This was after I think they finished WCW, like 2001 or whatever. Dennis Rodman versus Kurt Hennig in Australia.
Really?
That's right.
That's weird.
He gets busted wide. Kurt Hennig gets busted wide open. You have no idea how good Dennis Rodman was at wrestling. You have no idea.
Oh, he was athlete. So.
I know, but
he was in shape, so.
Yeah, but you got to know how to sell, though. That's the whole key. Is the psychology is that when a guy hits you, is like,
the dude's a born actor. Look at all he did with dressing up in drag and riding around in the wedding dress. I mean, he should have been a wrestler instead of a basketball player.
Well, even the way he played basketball, he would do that same thing on the court. All that ducking and diving and falling over.
But when you watch that, I'd never seen the match before. I never even heard of his promotion. It's a promotion in Australia, an indie promotion. And it was probably one of the best matches I ever seen.
Hey, I got a quick question for you, Krillin, before you run away.
All right.
I've got this other suit, and it's inside. Let me pull it out. It's got the pants and the jacket. This stuff's old. It's probably no value to it, even if it is a professional football player. But it's a Posh Designs.
Put it up to
it's
the
all
screen.
handmade. I'm trying to get it out. I just want to make sure I don't pull a big old brownie out, brown recluse. Shit, let me stand up. This ain't working. Okay.
Yeah,
can you see that?
Posh, nah, nothing.
Nothing. Dadgummit. It's embroidered inside with his name. It's gorgeous material. Jolon Dunbar. Jolon Dunbar.
Nah, I never heard of the guy.
Yeah, he wasn't great. But he played for the New Orleans, and then he ended up at the St. Louis Rams, and then all this stuff got put into a storage locker.
Yeah,
and he lost it all. Have you heard of
Lamar Odom?
A story of black? Is that anything?
Nah.
Probably not. I don't. It's the big ones with the big shoulder pads in it. So,
big shoulder pads is hard to sell.
Yeah, it'll go to Goodwill, I guess. I mean, gonna fiddle with it.
Still list it for $50-$60 and then let it sit in your basement.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it.
If it's a big size, it's hard to find the big sizes. You know?
He was a defensive. He was a defensive player, but he's probably broad at the shoulders and narrow at the hips.
Narrow at the hip.
It's gonna go to the trash. I'm done. I mean, I might throw it on. I might try to find somebody. I might throw it back and do an auction show, like put it in a tote and go on like MSP auctions and be like, somebody's a football fan. Maybe they want to fool with it. But that's what I do with clothing. I lot it up and sell it on there.
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't think clothing does well on there.
It did, man. I sold a whole bunch of vintage, new with tags, lead like jeans and stuff. They were rodeo attire, and I don't know how many pieces, but I ended up selling it for $200-something. And I think I had about $11 in it. And after I sold a couple pieces that I wanted to keep out of it,
nice.
The shirts, it was free. So I ain't looking to get rich.
It's 3 a.m.
Hey, you have a good night.
All right, take it easy.
Hey,
peace.
Dust off them trophies. I love giving him crap. He's funny. He gets a lot of crap from people, but he's a good guy.
No, I mean, I think because people don't like sometimes people that talk, and he speaks his mind. So there's nothing.
Yeah. He and when he speaks, he says some stuff. Sometimes you're like, don't say that, man. But it's who he is, man. He's from New York, so it's just the way it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna take them suits and throw them in a tote and wait till we have a auction show and just do that.
No,
you got to drive. You Are they coming to inspect your house tomorrow, or?
No, it's happened later. It happened today, but then I came home and I fell asleep after we did that show. I dozed off.
Yeah.
And I got up and it was late. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to drive. I was going to drive home, but then I'm going to drive home in the morning now. So I figured I'd stay up and do some listings. So that's what I was doing now. I just overworked my phone. It's like on the red now.
How far away are you from your house at the moment?
With no traffic, 90 minutes. So it's not that far.
Oh, well.
With traffic, the only thing is if I'd gone at 7 or 8, like I was planning to, it would have been about 2 hours, a little bit over 2 hours.
How far are you between cities?
It's 105 miles, I think, according to GPS.
Oh, wow.
Not too bad. It's the traffic that's the thing. Once you get into the Bay Area, over the Altamont, if you ever heard of that, right around there, traffic hits. It's just a big hill, basically. So just getting in there. There's only one way in, one way out. And people coming back from LA, they come down the same way too.
Oh, wow.
So it all comes down on the same freeway. You can go through the hills if you want, but you don't really save much time.
Well, bro, I guess I'm going to get off here and let you relax for the night.
Yeah,
and
my phone's done, so I can't take any more pictures. So I'm probably going to get some shut-eye.
Yeah, well, it was nice talking to you today. I really enjoy your company.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's awesome to hear about YouTube getting back to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, bro, you have a good night. And if anyone's left in the chat, I don't know if you are, but good night, guys.
Take it easy, guys. See ya.